So I'm back. Let's get this party started. I'm really excited about demonstrating this today. This is a line that I've carried, Mirabella Beauty, for over 10-12 years. It's a professional salon brand, but I've always enjoyed the simplicity of it, the innovation that they've come with on different products. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 3-part section. And I'm going to start out, and I always teach like I was taught years ago by Marvin Westmore, enhance, define, and decorate. And I want to start out today with just the minimal. For those people that quit wearing makeup, that after COVID and they haven't introduced it back in because they haven't found the line that is right for them. So that's what I'm going to do today. And by the time I finish the 3 different videos, I will have introduced every single product in the line. So you'll be able to make the decision of which one works for you, what style works for you. And so I hope you enjoy this. I'm sure excited about doing Mirabella. It's like I said, it's just, I use it so much. And it's women-owned, it's gluten-free, paraben-free, doesn't test on animal. It's a clean brand. It's extremely economical, which I just really approve during these times. So let's get started. The biggest thing that I find, and pardon me for the way I look, but you know, if we're going to do mature makeup, we're going to use a mature face. And that's me. I'm Kathy with Beyond 60, and I'm about a couple weeks from being 72 years old. So this is what you can see. And there's so much on social media that they're showing you mature makeup, but it's on beautiful skin. It's skin that doesn't have wrinkles. So I hope to show you and give you some pointers of why you're not comfortable with wearing makeup. Why you don't have the texture that your texture's showing. So I'm going to start out with one of their best-selling products, and that's called Bulletproof. And Bulletproof is their setting spray. It's your hydration spray. It's your matting spray. I mix it with everything. And you mix it with your eyeshadows for eyeliners. And it really is more than just a setting spray, because it is putting hyaluronic acid into your skin. But it gives you a matte finish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a drop of their hyaluronic acid, their serum. I have to say, I have to put my glasses on to read these, you know how that is. This is Mirabella serum, and not only is it a hyaluronic base, but it has vitamin C and it has 0.5 retinol. So it's a great serum to use on a daily basis. But I'm going to take a drop of this because most of the I just kind of stick it on the back of my hand. Most of the comments that I get for mature makeup on the clients that I'm working with, and we're talking over 60 or 50, is that they don't like what the makeup looks like. Well, that's because the skin's not hydrated. Hydration is, you can't wax a dirty floor. It just doesn't come out it doesn't come out right. So I'm going to take I'm going to take a spray of my Bulletproof and spray it on my face, because again, this is hydrating. And then I'm going to take just a drop. And what you also can do, and I'll use this in all of my videos, you can do it too with some of your fuller coverage makeups and just make it a light. So I'm going to let this go ahead and set because I want to have a good hydration. So this next step that I'm going to use, and we have 2 of them. We have 2 primers. We've got Prime and we've got Awaken. And Awaken is going to help. It's a non-silicone. and it's going to kind of tighten things up a little bit and prepare your skin. So these are very, very important, and sometimes I will use both of them. But today I'm just going to use Awaken, and that's the non-silicone. And we're going to put just a little bit over, and I want to get it mostly in the areas too that where my lines are, because those lines are going to be very important when we start our application. And we got to get the lips and our Yogi Bear lines, and so get some on the neck. And that's our Awaken, and that's our prime, that's our non-silicone. And then, like I was talking about, the prime, this is more of a liquid serum consistency, where the prime is more of a silicone. So I can sometimes come out too and kind of blend this in over the top. Kind of fill in my this is my putty. Yes. So we've got the skin. Now this is the base, and this is the step that I find that everybody leaves out. And you know, they just go to their makeup base, and it doesn't matter which one. If you have trouble finding them, you're just not trying to find one, nor are you putting it on a hydrated skin. So that's the most thing that I find in my clients. So I'm kind of letting this set. And when we think of enhancing, that's what this first step that I teach. This is the first step that everyone leaves out. Okay, so what is happening to my skin? Okay, we've got discoloration. I've got pigmentation over here. I've got my fat pads have started to go away. We've got our fat pads all through here and all through our eyes. And so most people will just take at this point and just put their makeup on. Well, you got one color makeup trying to hide all this discoloration and so forth. And then you think you need to keep putting more and more and more, and then your texture is really showing. So I'm going to use today, I'm going to use our CC cream. And like I had mentioned in each one of my videos, I'm going to use a different base. So you'll be able to see which one that is going to fit in your routine, your new routine, because I'm going to teach you some new routines. So this is part of feeling great about our skin. You know, there isn't a person in the world that doesn't look better with a little bit of makeup. And today I'm just doing basics. And so, you know, for the beginner, so you might want to get all, I don't care what you're using, just get all your stuff out and just go right along with me and put me on pause. And so while this is drying, I always, because we have the discoloration in our eyes, that's what shows our age more than anything, is our skin coloration and our eyes. So we have a eye primer. And I love this eye primer. You know that I always, if you've watched me, you've always, I always use an eye primer. It's just something that's very, very, this is what we have. We also have a travel size that I really like, because what I like to do is I like to take a little bit of our concealer and blend it in with our eye primer. And then when I put it on, it is neutralizing. Let me make sure I have my mirror here. It's neutralizing the colors in the lids. And, you know, for years and years and years, that's all we had was concealers. You know, in 40 years ago, all we did was use makeup to do that. And it was so pancake baked, it always. So this is, you can see the difference in the eye. And that, you know, even if that was the only thing that you did, you know, with your mascara, your brows and so forth, it's going to make all the difference in the world. But even if you do wear a lot of shadows, it's going to neutralize those colors so they're not blending through the colors and changing. And with I hate to say that word, with mature makeup, when our eyelids get so thin and hooded, and so color just doesn't act the same. We can take a color that we've used in, you know, a neutral color that we've used forever and ever, and all of a sudden it's getting really dark because it's just sucking in and it's changing the color. So let me get this other eye done. Again, I'm taking our, and this is something that I do. You certainly don't have to do it. Using our primer, our eye primer, and a little bit of our concealer just to color the redness in my eye and neutralize that color. And I'm going to pull it down here. I'm using our concealer brush. These brushes are wonderful. They've just been redone. They're all vegan, and this is pointed so it really can get in. I have to keep staying out of the camera like I usually do. And you can take this too, let's say you have a tendency to get pory on your nose. So you can take that primer, and I like to always prime around the mouth. And I'm using my own primer so I'm not contaminating anything. So I'm just kind of working this in. So when I do put my makeup on, it's going to kind of adhere better in this area, which sometimes that's the area that we get, that it fades away. So as we're letting this set in, let me check my eyes and make sure I have them blended. I'm going to do, I like to, and it's just the way that I do makeup because I make such a mess of the eyes, is I'm going to put my concealer on, because a lot of times you don't need, I use a concealer after my makeup, then you don't have to use so much, and you can just kind of dot it in where you need your coverage. Let's say you have pigment or a red spot or whatever. So I'm going to use it after I put on my CC cream. Now my CC cream that I'm going to be using today is, and I need to read about, it's got 20% sunscreen in it, and that's a physical sunscreen, which is titanium and zinc, and it is a real light. I'm kind of flipping my pages here so I can read it to you. It is, let me read this to you. It creates a full coverage if you want, but it's an oil control. It's got vitamin E beads that burst into and so it gives you additional hydration. All of Mirabella products that you put on their face are skincare products also. So they're doing a service to your skin. They're hydrating, they're time releasing, and it's the CC cream that I'm going to be using comes in 4 shades, and you can blend it. Now, if you have we don't have a wide range of all these as other companies do, like you see in Sephora that have 40 and 50 colors. If you're having trouble between two braids, and I will go through this in my videos, we have it's a tube of darkening, so you can have it, so you don't have to buy two. You have to buy so many different shades as you go into spring and summer and winter. So you can just take a little bit of that and put it in your makeup and adjust it as you go. So again, we've got this. I'm going to take, the one that I'm going to be using is, so we've got fair, light, medium, and dark. And so I've just, and I always, this is the area that I like to put my foundations all the time, because mostly this is the area, as we start blending, is the area. But I don't like to apply it with my fingers where it gets real heavy in here. So I'm going to take our foundation brush. And we've got several, our new brush set. I didn't bring it with me, but our new brush set is absolutely fantastic. This is one that they've come out with, and as you can see, it's got all these little, this is for blending. And so I'm going to take this brush and start blending, and I'm stippling. When you're dragging like this, you're moving that skin. And with same way with your eyes, I can do a little bit up here because you don't need as much coverage. We don't have a lot of wrinkles on our forehead. So, but I'm blending this. And then when I start getting into this area, I don't have as much, because you can do full coverage on this. And this is just their everyday protectant. And again, it's going to give a little bit of a matte finish. Let me see what we're doing here. All right, you can see how nice that has blended in. Okay, so let me get this other side done. I don't like to use my fingers, and I try to, we've always been used to using that for, all forever, because we used to not have all these fancy brushes back when we were kids. But as we're using our fingers, we're taking a lot of the product, but we're moving that skin, and and you're not getting a good finish, and that is usually a problem why someone's not getting a good application of their makeup. It doesn't look smooth. And again, I had used our serum and our bulletproof to put some more hydration, because this is a little bit of goes to a matte. So let me see how we are. And that gives a nice everyday coverage for just running out and doing grocery shopping, or just a light application. Now, if you have discoloration on your skin, they have come out with the most creative, honestly, I'm used to having all these, what am I trying to say? Concealers that are going to neutralize different areas. And I mean, it gets so complicated. Let me find this. And they've come out, and this has been one of their signature products that I'm going to list all these. This is what's called our Perfect and Correct. And if you can see how this has all your corrective colors in it. So let's say that you have some, it's blue. So you're going to take some of the peach and you're going to apply it underneath the eye. So it has everything in here, your yellow to let's say you have something that's red, you're going to use a little bit of this green on it. Or the most ingenious is to take this whole, let me find the right brush, okay? You can go and sweep this whole thing, and there's also a little pad in here that you can do this with too. It comes, but make sure when you have your pad, you always have it. I'm not going to use that. But if you want to neutralize, let's say your whole face has discoloration, you can take this and go over everything, and it's just going to neutralize everything on your face. And it can be added over cream, under cream, if you need to do a layer of this, like before you put your makeup base on. In my case today would have been your CC cream. I could have done this. Let's say I had a lot of redness in here, which is very common, or a lot of discoloration here. You could have taken this whole thing and neutralized all that. I just think this is so creative, and it just saves you so much money by having to buy a peach one, a purple one, and that's how I sell them to people. But this just conquers it all. So again, that's wonderful. So I'm just letting this set in. I've kind of blended it out. I put a layer of that. Let me see what we're looking like. And okay, let's see. All right. That's looking good. And my eyes are all, I'm going to blend this out a little bit. So what we've done in the enhanced part, was we've taken our skin and our eyes, and we've neutralized them. We've made it consistent so we don't have different colorations everywhere. So that in itself is going to, even if you never did anything, of course we're going to just a couple basic things, even if you didn't do any of that, it's going to make you look more youthful, because again, the age, and it's not so much our lines, you know, we've earned those are beautiful, but it's just, you know, you put it on and you feel so much better. And our eyes are our windows to our soul. And I always say that it's our soul that determines how old we are, our soul and how we feel about ourselves. So anyway, that's what I'm always saying. So let's get on with this. All right, so this is the enhanced part. So I took it, I neutralized, I hydrated my skin, I neutralized my eyes so I don't have them. So now what we need to do is define. Defining is what is going, now this is all coming down. So I want to bring things up to my eye area. Again, our eyes are our windows to our soul. This is where I want to concentrate. I'd like to have something done there, but it's not in the cards. So you want to make sure when you're applying your blushers and your contours. I'm going to do a underpainting on my next video to show you that, for those of you that want to know more about that. But what I want is to lift this part, because this is where it starts coming down. So I want to lift this, and that's called defining our brows, defining our eyes, and kind of pulling away from what's going on down here. So let's see what's going on here. Quite a mess. All right, the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to be working with our major palette, and this has array of eyeshadows, both in matte and in a little bit of I'm not going to say it's more of a satin frost. It's not frosted like we were used to, because we can't wear frost matte. You know how that is. But we've got 3 colors of our base. Well, three colors of our pure base, which if you're used to using a pressed foundation. And then we've got our colors and our, I'm going to be working on this one. This is the one I'm going to be using, and this is cool, this is warm, this has some frost to it. But first of all, I'm going to take, as I may itch my nose because I want to sneeze, is I'm going to take my brush. Let me tell you what brush is. This is part of the new set that I just got in, and these are beautiful. This is our Pro eyeshadow, and it's a blender. But I'm going to take this color here, and this is a pure press powder, and I'm going to set this up here. And maybe this is the only thing you want to do, you know, to just so you don't get any creasing. And I'm just blending that. I'm kind of wrapping it around here. I will come in here because remember and I'm working out here because I'm going to show you a little trick. So that's what I used, and this is, I have the numbers here. This is, in fact, what I'll do is I will list all the colors in my description instead of trying to read them off to you, because I got to put my glasses on and you know, it's a joke. But you understand because you probably have mature skin too, and we have mature eyes. So anyway, the first thing I'm going to do is I want to work on my brows, because that is the first step of defining my face. Because if we let this go as it is right now, I mean, I have a lot of space here, and then I have a small forehead. So I want you not just to look at mine, but do an evaluation of your eyes. Where are your wrinkles? Where do your wrinkles start here? Because we're certainly, if we've got some, which is normal, start getting some wrinkles in this area, we certainly don't want to bring our blush down in this area, because it's going to, you know, so I'm going to show you a little bit different. But anybody probably at my age has very thin brows. So we've got several ways we can do this. And this is been one of my favorite products ever since the product line came out. Boy, I think it's 15 years plus. We have wonderful pencils. And I've kind of made some decisions, and as some of you have noticed, what I've done in my past videos, I've kind of let some of my silver come out here. I felt that I was looking, by always coloring my hair and have this silver grow out within a week or so, I thought that I would let it kind of go naturally in that area. So I'm still coloring, you know, the back part of my hair, because I don't have that beautiful silver hair. This is about it. And it's coming in a little bit here, but it's more salt and pepper. And I felt that I was looking like I had a wig on, and I didn't quite like that. I used to call it shoe polish head, you know, how men, they get up in their ages and they start dyeing their hair, and they do. They look like it's been shoe polished, but that's kind of what I call it. But anyway, so I have left this kind of streak grow out, and I have really liked it. You know, I always thought, well, no, gray hair's for old people. But if you do it right, it can be so enhancing, because what nature has done is and some people, you know, they turn silver at 30 years old. What nature has done is they've changed our skin color, our eye color, as we go through the hormone changes that's changing this. So sometimes it can add a little life to their face. And since I've done that, I mean, the jury's been out on this, but I've had more compliments that it has brightened my face and made me look younger. I mean, I'll take that from anybody at this point of the game. So anyway, so I had to kind of change a few things. But what I want to do is, because my eyebrows are so arched, I need to bring them down. And what I had started to say is they have this product that I use so much, and we have it in 2 colors. And it's more of a eyebrow powder, which I'm going to be using today to show it. And then, of course, we have our pencils. But I needed to lighten what I was doing. With all the dark hair, I was getting my eyebrows way too dark. So we're going to play with that. I'm going to grab a pencil, and I'm going to lay my lines in. I'm going to use a combination of I'm going to start out with the lighter brown, okay? And they've got a real fine tip on it, and then you've got your spoolie at the end. But I always spoolie my eyebrows first, and sometimes what I'll do is take, and this actually works well, and I think I'll try it today. Sometimes I will take our brow set, and this is just a soft neutral brown. And this is great for people that still have some good brows, but maybe have a lot of silver in them. So I will take this first and put this in. And as you can see, I'm trying not to. I'm notorious for having the mirror in front of me. So I've just softly put that in there. So that's really set them up. And we do a lot of lamination at the salon. And this is what your eyebrows look like. So I'm going to do it on the other side too. And just kind of, this is putting some color in. And I'm going to demonstrate all my my brow techniques. Because, you know, brows are very, very personal. A lot of times when I'm doing someone's makeup, I will ask them what they prefer, all right? So then what I'll do is, like, I need a few, I will come down and I will perfect these with, whoops, I want to make sure I'm not in your face. I will perfect these with my pencil. And this way, you need less product. And I'm going to do the same on the top. I'm just taking that pencil and I'm lightly outlining. Let me spool it up here. Since I've been letting a little bit of my sparkles come in, I call them sparkles. You know, we don't need to be using the word gray. That's depressing. We want to use sparkles. So I have just lined that in. Now the other one I'm going to do a little different so you can see both. So you can see what a difference that made. And first of all, I did it opposite. I used the Lash, your brow mascara first. But you can see the difference between the two. But it doesn't look like I have a Kino crayon eye. You know, sometimes they look so dark and so heavy. And boy, that's really the trend. It's kind of goofy looking. So I'm going to do the same. Now, I have better luck, even when I'm using a brush, instead of working this way, I come down. And this one is, is not, I think this brow is the cousin, not the twin. is the cousin to mine. So let's move this and I like to do my brows first because it really shows the placement for where I'm gonna do a little bit of shadow for, okay, let's get this in here. All right. I might need a little on this one because it's so sparse up here. A little darker pencil. But one of the, let's say if we were going to use the powder fill-in, yeah, I would take, and you can use a brow shadow. I'm going to take this and just kind of stick it on my hand. But what you could do is just put it in. This is mine. You could put your eye primer on. I mean, not your eye primer. I'm stuck on that. Your brow mascara on, and then come through. This is for ones that have fuller. So you can see that it just kind of fills that in. If you can see how I filled that in a little bit right in here. This works good because it, first of all, it's going to cover any silver that you have, because I know when I dye my customers' lashes and their brows, they've got to come back every month to get it because those little silver sparkles are there. They're just coming out. So this has been a wonderful, and again, I got a light shade, and they're both neutral, so they work all the gamut, from the blondes to the ash blondes and so forth. So they have been some of my, I've used them for years, absolute years. So that gets our brows done. All right. So again, let me put my mess away. The next thing I'm going to be working with is our fabulous eyeliners. It's been a long time since I really liked eyeliners. I'm going to take, first of all, as I got it all over my hand when I hit my palette, I'm kind of putting some of my concealer on. We'll go back and work with that. But I just got it all over my finger. Our pencils, well, and there's several ways we can do this. Once we start getting the hood, I want you to kind of look about, and when you're looking at your eye, where is your hood? And you can see this is my worst eye. You can see that it's right here, and it's almost to the arch of the eye. And this is what I want to lift. Okay, so of course, we want to keep, and some of you might have the lid that really comes down and covers this. So we need to make some definition. We're from the era that we always used a black pencil, black eyeliner, thick, and we rim the bottom of the eye and so forth. Well, those have changed. That doesn't work real well. So I'm going to take one of my favorite colors that is so, it is called Prune. And it, let me show it to you. I don't have the black with me. I have my brown, and I'm going to use, okay, let me show you the colors that I have right now. This gorgeous blue, is almost a blue black. And our black is out because it's being repackaged right now. Then we have, oh, I lied. I have a black. Oh, I must be lucky. We have our brown. Okay. And then the one that I'm going to be working with today, because I've got a hazel eye, is this gorgeous prune. And you can see how pretty that is. But these are, they're retractable. You can also take the end out if you want a sharper point. But you want to always store them like this. So what I'm going to do is, these are so good at rimming that base of the eye, where the eyelashes are. And that's where I get in trouble because, and these are wonderful waterline. They don't irritate my eyes. So I'm taking this pencil, and again, I'm using plum, or prune, I'm sorry. And I want it right in the base. So I don't, because our lashes are thin, and we have that, if you look, we have that large white space underneath. So that's giving, again, it's defining my eye. So let's go back over here and I'll do this one. Try not to do it in one swipe. It's much better. Just take little strokes. All right, so it's putting a little bit of definition. And anyway, so that's our eyeliner. Now, other things you can do, and I'll show you, like I said, because we all have different ways of doing things, is I'm going to take a little bit of shadow on my lower lid, because I want to start out in here. And I want to use, sometimes like this is too big of a brush. It may be designed for that, but I want to start out with a smaller brush because I want to, I want to place that color first. And, with social media, you see them take those big old brushes, and this is, and they start like that. Well, that's moving our eyelid, so that's not gonna help us. So I'm going to use my palette, my beautiful palette, and I'm going to start out with this color here. And this is again, I will lift it. It is a soft taupe. And I want to press that in. Okay, I'm going to grab my little mirror so I get this right. So I want to press that in at the highest part of where my hood is coming down. And you can see right then and there that it's already lifted this. Okay, in fact, I'm going to just do a little bit more. And let's say, like I was talking about, your lid goes all the way down. Well, you might want to take a little bit of, again, I'm using soft colors because my lids will grab. And then instead of coming all the way down here, I want you to visualize this with this corner. We don't want anything. And sometimes I will tape this area here to make sure I get it in the right spot. And you start lifting because this bone is going out here. So if we're dragging this down, then we're really pulling that eye down. We want to lift this. So I'm actually going to take, now that I put that on, I'm going to take a little bit of my contour shade. And I'm, like I said, I'm holding this brush at the end, so I'm very light-handed. So I'm not saying we can't go glitter, because I'll add it. I am a glitter queen. But you can see how this already is lifting that eye and that hood. And it's just important. And again, I'm going to start working this up this way. And I haven't put any more stuff on my brow. I'm sorry, on my lid. And pulling it. And you don't need to do this. Just by neutralizing the eyelid, like I did with the lid primer and a little bit of the concealer mixed in, sometimes you just have to put a little eyeliner on and just let it go. I work a lot too with cream shadows, and you can do this with Mirabella. And how you do it is you just wet the brush and with bulletproof, and then you can do eyeliner that way too, and you can get a more intense color. So let's take that color again and do the other eye. All right. Again, I don't want to, in fact, I'll go this way. I want to dot this on that bone. You want to feel it. You want to be looking straight ahead. You don't want to be opening your eyes all like that. You just want to be straight ahead so you know where that bone is. And let's just blend this. And I know they do that windshield wiper thing all the time, but it again, it's moving all of our wrinkles around, and we're not getting okay. And then I'm working this out. All right. That is such a gorgeous color. The palette that I'm working out of is probably, I just pulled out a brand new one for this. But the whole palette that has all the shadows, all the blushers, everything on it is like $85. And that, it'll last you for a lifetime. So I am going to bring that color down a little bit because I wanted to show you, if your hood came farther down, you would want to kind of work it in here. And so let me take my blending brush, and it's clean, and just kind of work this, make sure it's blended. I'll take a little bit of my contour, and I'm going to just press it in there, and I'll show you what contour I'm talking about when we put it on the face. But you can use all of our blushers, all of our contours and highlighters for eye colors, for cheek colors, whatever you want to use it, because they're safe. They don't have talc in them, and they're very, very safe. All right, so let's see if I got these blended right, because usually when I go to go through my videos to post them and edit them, I usually have one eye all crazy. So I'm just working that in. So you can see the difference right then and there by lifting that eye. And you only have to use, just one color or whatever. So now if you wanted to add a little bit more depth, let me pull this to your eyeliner. Okay, let me find the right one here. All right, I'm actually going to take my wedge that I can use on my eyebrows. and I'm going to spray it with Bulletproof. So I'm going to take my palette, and I mean, I could take this dark brown. I'm going to dip it into this black, and I'm going to just lightly fill in this area. I do that. Just kind of press it at the, just to get a little bit more depth. And then you can wing this up. And again, winging at this point, our wing's about a 1/4 inch up. But I'm just kind of working it in the corner. And you could do this with any color. You know, I'm using the black with the Bulletproof. So I can get down at those lashes. And then I'm, again, using this as my guide. And I'm kind of filling in that corner. I need a little bit more. Like I said, this Bulletproof will be your best friend. And when I'm working that corner, instead of working up, because I like to work it down, because again, we've got some loose skin there. And if you want, you can just lightly, if you want a little bit of color underneath, I just go, you can go here, but absolutely don't do that black all the way over. Now, if you're enjoying this, and if you used Mirabella before, I want you to leave a comment down below and tell me what products you love. Because by the time I'm done with this 3-part, let's kind of blend this out here, I will have introduced you to the whole line. And then because this is, like I said, it's Mirabella, you hardly find anything that isn't any influencers demonstrating Mirabella, because it's an in-salon professional brand sold by salons everywhere. And but if you find something that you might need, I'll leave a code so you can get 10% off your first purchase. And stay with me. I think you're going to learn a lot about the product line. And you don't find a lot on social media about mature makeup. You know, it's just, I guess it's the marketing, because they're certainly not going to use an older face for advertising their product. But that's what I'm about. I wanted to show you this. I wanted to concentrate on what it shows. So let me check my to see if I'm balanced. Okay, I'm going to take just a tiny bit. I'm going to take a pencil brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of darker, let's see what I'm going to use here. You know, you see me kind of mixing things around, but people my age have eye problems. So this is my color right here. This is what I'm using for my corner. And so let me take that and just a little bit over that black, and a little bit in that corner, but we're lifting. So we're actually lifting our type of wings at this point is shadow, because we're working, because we've already indented here. We've plotted our fast pads in here. So even if you get some of your contour, which I'm going to show you, out here and into this area, it's still going to lift that. Okay, let's take a little bit more to balance this. I love these brushes, and I tell you, I probably have 300 or 400 brushes, but they're so weighted, and you don't have to worry about when you're cleaning them that the handles are going to start falling apart and chipping. They're just wonderful, and I've used them forever. All right. Again, I'm just kind of filling this in, and this part of it you don't need to do. You know, if you just put your little contour right at your brow bone and put your mascara on, you're good to go. All right, so let's see what we're doing here. We've got this going. I'm going to go ahead and put my mascara on, and I have forgot my eyelash curler, but that's okay. Anyway, I have straight. Well, let's see how good it works. Very straight eyelashes, and of course they're thin. I actually quit using eyelash enhancers, the ones that grow, because the prostaglandin in them, and the prostaglandin that are in so many more effective ones, they actually harm the eye. They will dissolve the fat in your eye and have your eye, it accelerates your aging. So I quit selling them, but I'll tell you something, I'm getting ready. Mirabella just launched their new one that's for the brows and the lashes, and I'm going to be getting that in this week, so we'll see. I'll go to that. But the other ones that I had used, and I probably used 6-7 different kinds, they made my dry eye so bad, so I'd have to use eye drops 6-7 times a day, and once I quit doing that, I didn't have that problem. So back to our mascaras. I get on these tangents. We have two different ones. We have Luxe. Okay, let me get my glasses on. We have Luxe, and we have a lasting lash, which is Mirabella Lashes, and Luxe. And Luxe is our everyday one, and Lashes is our waterproof. So I'm going to kind of show you Mirabella's technique on this. So, and I've had a lot of people say, return mascara, and not Mirabella's, but some of my other brands, because they didn't know quite what to do with the brush, and they were just making a mess. But some of the brushes now are curved, but we used to just come and go like that, to put our mascara on. Well, now you want to put that at the base, and you want to wiggle it up. So we're filling that up and coming up. And don't worry if you get it on your lid, because if you let it dry, like if I went right now and tried to remove it, it's going to make a mess, a hot mess. So it's just going to flake off. So I'm just taking this, and I love this mascara, and I probably have 8 different mascaras that I have worked with over the last few years. And what they do is they cause almost like a film over my eye, like it's just like a fume. And okay, I'm just getting this in here. Thin. So it's, and then what Mirabella does is, their artists, is they will come back after this and put a coat of, okay, let me I got some in my eye. I'm gonna come over. All right, let me get another coat on here. Sorry for putting a mirror in front of your face. Now I have a pretty good lash line underneath, and if I'm going to use, like if I'm doing a more dramatic look, I will put in shadow down there, but that's not what I'm doing today. And again, it's just up to you. If you wear lashes, some people, older, more mature, they don't even have a lot of lash. So then I'm going to take our waterproof, and I'm just going to just touch the ends of it, just to add more length. And you know, we always have one eye that has better lashes than the other. They're just, all right, I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to go in and clean it up, and then we're going to finish this ball game. I want to take a little bit of shimmer. You know, we can take, I'm going to take a little bit of this gold shimmer right here, and I'm going to put it right here. And that's going to, and we'll do more of this in when we start getting more, when I get into my gypsy eyes. Let's see if I got this blended good. And what is that doing? That's spotlighting, you know, the light's coming down and hitting. And this is where I will work with my shimmers and so forth. We could take a little bit of shimmer and highlight this area here. But I'm going to show you, we're going to go into our bronzers and blushers right now. First of all, my lips are so dry, and I've got this, they've got this really nice, let me get I'm going to take a little bit of this, and it's like sugar, and you put it on your lips, and just to kind of exfoliate them, because we definitely need exfoliation around our mouth. It's an area that we forget. And that's one of their products also, which is wonderful. And that will be listed. What's nice too is they have a eyeliner magic pencil. Magic marker. I can't tell you how many I've gone through these. These are so fine, and for eyelining, if you like a little bit more precise, but you can really get down in the base. They also have one that makes your wings for you. They've had that. It's so creative. All right, so let's get busy with our contour. So we need to continue this. I have concealer, and I want to make this a little bit more. Let's see, let's turn this way. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to go right in that ditch. And honestly, If you're going and getting all crazy looking as far as how they teach you on social media with your concealer, less is more. I mean, you just can't do that. Let me grab some more concealer here. And I'm also going to just kind of define this line here. I'm going to come down. And the other thing too, you want to be, I'm using their number 3 because I want it more, just slightly lighter than my base color. I don't want a real bright, because most of us have this little puff here from our kidneys and we've sunken in here. So we want to concentrate here. Okay, let me get some more. And I want to put a little bit here, because remember, these are ditches. And we kind of need to fill them in. And you don't need foundation everywhere. And you'll see me when I start underpainting on my next video. And let's say you've got some pigmentation. You can go in like I showed you with that really creative palette. You can go ahead and you can spot. Let's say you've got some pigmentation, you can spot that in. All right, let's move on. We've got that. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to use our contour brush first. And this is perfect, because what people, we've already started to sink here. You know, that's just from this falling. We want to at the ledge of the bone. See how this brush is? This is called the Mirabella sculpting brush. So I'm going to bring in this color here, right here, and I'm going to let that brush do the work for me. And again, stay out of this way, because this is where our wrinkles start. So you can see that it's still lifting, and but I'm touching that bone. I'm almost not in the hollow, and I'm working it up. And this is the color that I said you could also, let's say you didn't have any shadow on whatsoever, you could come right there and just lift that up. And you're almost going into the hollows. Okay. Then I'm going to take this lighter shade, and I'm actually going to go a little bit beyond where I put that. So where most people are putting that contour in the hollows, I'm putting a little bit lighter, because that's going to intensify my bronzer. Then I'm going to take, let's see, I want my blush brush here. And I think I'm going to try a little bit of this pink. And what's nice about, and then I'm working that again, I'm stippling, because if we're doing all this, we're moving everything and we're moving our skin. And again, I'll show you if you want to contour the nose and so forth. But you can also come in with, I love this brush, my fan brush, and you can actually take two colors like this and then work them. So you're getting both. It's so creative. I mean, you know, when you have just a few products that you can use to do everything, it certainly makes a difference. I'm going to kind of take my foundation brush and blend this out a little bit. And I'm also going to hit it with my Bulletproof. Just kind of set it and let it do its thing. But if you look at what I've done today, is I've only used the CC cream, and that is our lightest foundation. And to do this, and just the basics, I haven't done a dramatic eye, or I've just mostly enhanced and defined my bones, defined my eyes. And again, you know, you do what's comfortable for you, but if you can start out with the necessary things in the beginning, and that's skin hydration, you're going to make all the difference in the world on how your mature makeup looks. So let's come in with their lipsticks. They're fabulous. And I'm more of a lip primer girl. I mean a lip primer and a lip stain girl, but you can take their lips, and I'm actually going to do contouring and use that. This is the color we're going to use. But you've got to be careful. Where we were taught to just smile and get this, well, usually we have a lot of lines there, right in here. So we don't want to, we want to be very careful. You can kind of blend it down a little bit with what's left on your brush. All right. So let's get our lips done, and let's wrap up this parade. I hope you guys liked it. One of the most creative things they have, well, you know that I had put on primer around my mouth. Well, they've got a lip pencil that is clear, and what you do is you put it on the outside of your lip, and it's going to keep it from feathering, and it's also going to fill in. It's like a diffuser, so it's going to fill in all those little wrinkles, those fun things that we like. I got makeup. All right. And that also has a little sharpener at the end. Again, I will have these all listed for you in my. And if you have trouble finding the description and everything, right down by the heading of the video is a word more. So if you click on that, it's going to have a drop down menu of everything on there. So if you're liking this so far, I want you to hit the bell, leave a comment, and the bell's going to tell you when my next one comes up. And don't forget to subscribe, especially if you're liking some of this, because, you know, it's important to me to show mature makeup on mature skin, so you can see the way that it's lying. So I'm going to take our lip pencils are beautiful. I'm going to, not going to use, or maybe I will. I think today I'll just use a crayon, just to keep things, and I'm going to wipe off my lips with their makeup, because I have and I also found my my corrector that I had lost. So for those of you that didn't get enough coverage, you can take, again, like we did, and just swirl this. And let's say you've got some pigment over here or some pigment here, and you need to diffuse it. So that's that. These lip crayons are fabulous because the important thing, you know, they come out to a matte, but sometimes I like them just to kind of stay on during the day. You don't want to use lip liners with this. You want to utilize the pencil. And so I've gone ahead and put in one color. Then I'm going to take another deeper color. All right, because I don't like to get too dark. Let me take my lip pencil and my lip brush, I'm sorry. And I'm just going to take my water. Let's see. That didn't even come off on there. So I use two colors. I mean, it all just depends. We've got several colors of these. What you like. I needed to less pink it up. So anyway, what do you think? I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to go fix myself up and then come back with the final. But I just want to show you how little that I put on and the texture of my skin. And so, like I said, if you like this, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, the subscribe, and share it with your friends so then you can play makeup together and learn new techniques for that. We just need to, it doesn't mean we're getting older, we're just getting more seasoned. And I love teaching ladies. They just feel so good. I mean, I have clients that I redo their makeup all the time, and they're 80 years old and one beyond. And after I do this series, then I'm going to be doing actual clients in the salon working with my makeup brands. And you'll be able to see other ways, and it's how I do things on different kind of faces. Maybe they have more hooded eyes, more deep set eyes, and how we're going to do those. But again, don't forget to anything that you want, you can, in my description, it's going to have everything that I listed and your link to go to Mirabella Beauty and take 10% off your purchases. Thank you and for joining me today. Okay, I'm back. Little hair done, and I did go ahead and change my lipstick color because it was just too dark and it has just looked muddy. But I want you to see what we've accomplished here in this long hour and so, but to see the look and how it turned out. And so thank you all for joining me today. So look forward to seeing you again on my next one. Don't forget, subscribe, send it to a friend, and thank you so much for spending your day with me.